Back here.
You will not kill my allies.
You could also and just like stun them.
They're not gonna come here. There's no way. They're gonna rotate around.
Yeah, they're going Phoenix. They're going Phoenix.
Put down.
Nice ones.
Down A.
Oh my
Good
god.
shit, dude. Holy frick.
Defenders win. One
GG.
enemy
Good luck in your
remaining.
next ones, guys.
Easy.
Yeah, GG, bro.
You too, man. You too, dude.